Yes, greetings to you in the best of salutations, and that would be prayer, power, peace, um, prosperity, and patience. Just want to talk about it's in my spirit about maybe moving beyond the fluff. You know, that which lacks substance and depth. You know, when it comes to one's heart. You know, the soul, the heart, the spirit, the mind, and the influence thereof. You know, I've learned that, and when it comes to titles that many have acquired, power and the privilege, the prestige, the prominence, the notoriety, and the celebrityhood. Just want to indulge you just a little bit, engage with you. When you take anything out of its natural habitat, you it could possibly, as a plant, lose its nutrients. Anything that's taken out of its natural form or natural state is what is called unspiritual. Anything that remains in its natural form or natural state is spiritual. It is a natural progression of development of the maybe the use, not maybe, but the use of our faculties of our intellect. Anything that is done contrary to nature is out of order because everything submits to the nature in which it was created in and created for, to live for, to live by. The the distinct difference in humans is that we should have developed the discipline enough to control our instincts because any act of war could be the result that humans have not been able to control their animal instincts. When one loses, when someone loses hope of affecting, or when something that is unnatural, or when something goes about trying to affect you, your deed, or your speech, then he or she will seek to invade your heart. And heart is the center of the intellect, and that is the balance. When one, I say, I live my life as an aspirant, trying to find that balance, that grounding, like the arch, you see. And the arch is the grounding from one end rising up to a higher level of consciousness and back down to the other end, but it has its grounding, and that arch is the associated with one's temperament. Yes, one's temperament, one's attitude, one's disposition, you know. Yes. So, and that which starts to lose hope and affecting one's deeds or speech, he'll see seeks to invade the heart. So it is a heart invasion and strike at the root of righteousness, if I may use that term. When I mean as that goes to living a righteousness is a win-win situation, but it goes to living a meaningful life, which means we give we're here to give and add to the value of this creation and add to the beauty of it and value the nature in which all existence and life has been created. So strike at the root, and that righteousness is also one's intentions. Because when you look at a someone who murders or kills, they want to know what his motive, what was his motive, what motivated him. Intentions is judged by your actions, or vice versa. So these intentions, by corrupting the one's intentions, uh, then the objective is to win the soul, or one's take away you know, your freedom. They control your freedom. When I mean when that which has contaminated and corrupted the to invade the heart and corrupted the intention is to win the soul. That their freedom or their heaven, if I may use this term metaphorically, is contingent upon you being in hell and living in hell. So as Sister Anin would says that when it comes to trauma, if the she said that the soul is traumatized. The soul is traumatized. Soul is in trauma. It's been traumatized because the the in, the invasion of of the um, of the heart, as they say, has been has been has been invaded. By corrupting the intention, the will. They will win the soul, and the soul must be satisfied because we become a living soul in the purest sense, you know. But what happens is that it leads to a term of avoiding one's lack of duty, avoiding one's duty and responsibility. Yes, and being, accountable. And one's duty first is to him or herself. But when a child stands on his, tries to crawl, and then he stands on his own 2 feet, that's standing on his conviction, his merit. Like the letter A in the A frame stands on his own 2 feet. It's a strength. He needs something and to support. Maybe put his hand on a table or a chair, something that will enable him to get up on his feet. Yes, and he becomes, uh, independent. First there is dependence, then there's independence, then there's interdependence. Yes, but this intention to win the soul by injecting as a dosage, injecting it with one's being irresponsible and don't want to deal with the consequences of their actions. It's a lack of accountability. It is recidivism, it's a moral culture decline. So what we have been, which when they become deprived of accountability, of being accountable. Yes, to give account for your ability to provide for yourself first, then for your family, and then for others. So there's no need to argue with people who know the importance and have a responsibility because we want to get beyond the fluff, the titles, the lack of substance that that one has not been, you know, really equipped and prepared enough and and then placed in a position of survival that they will do whatever it takes to provide for himself because it gives him value, gives him meaning, and for his family, and then for others. So this environment that has been created, a natural environment that places one at odds with his own nature, will create a robber, a murderer, a thief, a liar, because she has been placed in a position that he wants to find meaning and value for his or her life and do not want to see his or her family go lacking or on the streets. But then there are those who will not participate in that behavior, that they will take um, jobs and even create jobs within the confines of the laws of the authorities, if I may use that word, in the society, and hopefully um, set an example for their children that they will not have to participate in any lawlessness activity, that they will wind up being physically incarcerated at the expense of a prison industry profiteering off the environment that has been created by a conjecturer, a tyrant, a liar, a thief, and a murderer. These are behavior dispositions. Yes. But we have to move beyond the fluff and the titles and understand his first duty is to him or herself, to his family, and to others. That could be the community, but sometimes we jump the gun. We 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 want to do for the community. But I know the key um, to to life is associated key to social life is family. But I know community is important. But it's a community of people that has incorporated and embodied and come to this understanding that we make up this family, this order of dependent first and independent and interdependent as a community of people. Because even though we see in the mirror, we look at it, we see an individual, but this individual is made up of a community. You know, you got your eyes, your nose, your ears, your hands, and your feet. And the inside is made up your heart, your lungs, and your liver, and your kidneys. And your cells is made up of a community. So this is what makes up a community that will provide for itself now and be able to sustain itself. But the sustenance that it uses must go back into hmm, that community. So we, the people, must cherish the the nature and the value of that nature in which it was created for and created to be. We must nurture that nature and provide an environment that is conducive for one's intellectual aptitude for learning when it comes to developing and cultivating the best of intellect when it comes to the use of one's substance and one's faculties for the betterment of humanity. And when we can understand that we were born equal, what differentiates us is the use of one's faculties. It is a attitude, behavior, disposition. So we must go through what I call capacity training, develop the skills and to have the resources and the talents that we be able to complete the mission and become a complete human being. But the human person must be established. There is a group that says child is born with a heart of gold, way of the world. It makes his heart so cold that that our humanity become a warm humanity, humanity that's full of warmth, that is full of love, full of enthusiasm, that is full of decency, honesty, courtesy, confidence, respect, caring, nurturing. That we don't offer people false hope, because when you offer people false hope, that's a crime, and people who offer people false hope participate in fraudulent behavior, and that creates fatalities of war. So that which is being traumatized is the soul. So we must get to the heart of the matter, and that which has corrupted one's intentions. And what I find to realize is that if there is a incorrect understanding of the nature of that which it was created, and I'm not talking about the incorrect interpretation of which they give a correct interpretation. Some will give a correct interpretation of Darwinism or the evolution from man, from animals, and they use terms like horsepower, and then you see images of animals on the heads of the when it comes to politics totems, and that's just the thinking of people, is because that's their animal appetite, the animal instinct that the big fish swallows up the small fish. That's in that nature in which it was created. That is their environment. But in the human environment, when the human person is established, that is not his or her yardstick to measure. Hmm? Human being, the human being, and then one act out in that humanity, which is inhumane. But the yardstick in the measurement is um, the total makeup by nature in this evolutionary process from the sperm mixed with ovum. Hmm? True form of integration. The purest form in the evolutionary process. Hmm? Not to mention how the cells. Some say they were fighting. They wasn't fighting. They were in cooperating. This is how we think. That one reaches this Christ state, if I may use that, and Christ is a state of development through the process of spiritual consciousness. It comes out into this world. but yet it has been contaminated and corrupted. The heart has been invaded, striking at the root of righteousness. Intention by corrupting the intention, the will. The will is the behavior, the attitude, behavior, disposition, or the disposition behavior, if I may use that language. And I pray that we don't lose hope in the manner and the way in which we interact with one another as decent and respectable human beings in the midst of this invasion of the heart. And follow the way of benevolence, that we go about protecting and defending our integrity, doing so with dignity, the benevolent way. Until next time, Common Humanity Mission, promoters of the value of self-worth, communicated with precision a clearer image to the world through 5 channels of communication: understanding, tolerance, temperance slash temperament, confidence, and respect. The mandate is cultivate the potential of knowledge that is in us all. And may we not be persuaded or lured to destroy each other. Again, until next time, talk to you.